So my journey kind of started when I was pregnant with my second child, and I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes. And that's kind of how I first learned about diabetes and blood sugar, insulin, all of that. And so I ended up having to go on metformin towards the end of my pregnancy. My fasting numbers just kept going up, and metformin worked for like maybe a week or so. It kind of adjusted my numbers, but then they started climbing again. And so they were going to put me on a higher dose, but my son actually ended up coming early. So kind of didn't have to do that. But all along I had just been told like gestational diabetes will go away. You won't have to worry about it. You know, as soon as you have your baby, you'll be fine. And that maybe when you're like 50 or 60, then you might like think about diabetes as being an issue. But until then, like you'll be fine. And so my OBGYN had a follow-up glucose tolerance test done like 8 weeks postpartum, and I failed it. And so that was kind of devastating, and I didn't expect that because I've been told it'll just go away, and it didn't. So I went on to my primary care physician and had my A1C checked, and I was at 5.8, which is just like slightly pre-diabetic. But over the months of working with them, my A1C just kept going up and up and up, and I was losing weight and doing what they told me to do, but it just wasn't working, and I wasn't feeling well. I did not feel good. My primary care physician just said like keep losing weight and you'll see changes. And so I got to a point this past summer in August, my A1C was 6.1, and I had lost about 40 to 50 pounds, and I was doing what they told me to do. I was like, this is not working. And I came across somebody on Instagram who was talking about Ben Bickman, Dr. Ben Bickman. And so I looked into his book and I was like, wow, this makes sense. And so the person I found was also putting out content about intermittent fasting and eating fats and all this stuff. And it just started to click. And so I found Insulin IQ through Ben Bickman, and all the content you guys were putting out, just like, I was like, wow, this is what I'm missing. And so I started adding fats into my diet. I started, instead of running, I changed over to weightlifting and weight training and building muscle, hydrating well and doing electrolytes. Just like all the information you put out there, I started doing that, and it made such a big difference. I am now, 72 pounds I've lost. And
Wow.
in January, I had my A1C checked again, and it's 5.9, which is, I still want it to be lower, but it's on the way down. We're like going the right way now. And so I feel amazing, and I'm so grateful for the information you've put out.